I got Jesus on a surfboard. That's right, folks. It's 2018. We are not playing around. I got Jesus surfing a wave. Yes, sir. That's where we're at. All right. The first thing I want to talk about is Kanye West and Jimmy Kimmel, the interview, what people are missing, what the media is missing. And it's just so bizarre to me. But on a spiritual, psychological level, I understand everybody's in their own reality. You know, some people have certain things and certain aspects that they see. So we all see different things. You know, I try not to fight reality too much. So that's just the truth. We're never going to see the same thing. Hundreds of different people are going to watch the same interview, see 100 different things. And I think more people need to consider that and realize that everybody doesn't see things the way you see them. That would be a nice start to have a conversation and a discussion. But I watched the Kanye West, Jimmy Kimmel interview, and I was like, wow, this is going to be really hard for them to hate on, because Kanye came out, he's talking about love. On a spiritual level, it's like he's leading with love instead of hate. This is, I thought it was like a universal sort of thing where, you know, spiritual type people would be like, yeah, for sure, leading with love, not hate. You know, he's talking about wisdom. I mean, Kanye was dropping some gems in there. I'm not saying everything the guy says is perfect, but he's in the interview, and he said, why do they teach history? Why don't they teach a future class, or why don't they teach a present moment class where they teach you finances, where they teach you how to balance a checkbook? I mean, these are things that you're not going to hear many celebrities say that somebody needs to say on television. Other rappers are like, yeah. And I do hip hop too. I'm not making fun of people, but you could go up there and be like, yeah, I shoot people and buy a bunch of gold chains for my neck. And I'm not, like I said, I'm not hating on it, but you could say that and people will be like, oh, that's so dope. And then Kanye is like, hey, how come they don't teach finances in school so we can balance a checkbook? And people are like, oh, he's a sellout. It's like, it's just so bizarre that people are hating on what he's saying. But the bombshell moment for the media, and I have to debunk this because I said it for 4 days, then Kanye West himself actually said it. And I already knew, like, I have a good vision. I'm not to say I know everything, but like I knew what was going on, and I see the little twisted, sick games they play because thanks to you guys and your support, I'm able, and also thanks to the fact that before I had all of you guys, I worked very, very hard, and I took like 6 months off with my own money to just like really start analyzing the media, and I see the sick, twisted games they play, and I see it even more clearly now. But Jimmy Kimmel had a trap question for Kanye West. It was a 3-part question. Jimmy asked, he said, Kanye, blah, 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 you know, Trump puts kids, separates women from children and families, blah, blah, blah. You know, you said George Bush doesn't like black people. How come you think Donald Trump likes black people? And Jimmy Kimmel's allowed to ask that question, but it was like a 3-4-part question that was like, you know, it takes a little second to think about. So I saw Kanye, he paused for like 5 to 10 seconds, and I know what Kanye was thinking. He literally said it now, but I already knew in the time. He's trying to not say anything wrong or take a misstep because the media, that's the question that the media is looking to take him out of context. They're trying to make him look bad. They're trying to make him look dumb. They're trying to make Trump look bad. So they ask him a 3-part Trump trap question. So instead of answering off impulse like he did during the TMZ interview, and to be honest, his answers during the TMZ interview were pretty normal, pretty standard, but like a basic truth that people aren't trying to hear sounds crazy because they've been so indoctrinated in history that, you know, somebody says something honest that's like off-putting, they're like, whoa, Kanye is crazy. So Kanye took a second to think. He's like, I don't want to get caught out of context. So he pauses because he's like, let me really watch my words, because the media is going to take anything I say out of context. They do it with Trump. They do it with Kanye. They do it with anybody that they don't like, and then they serve as a PR team for people that they do like. So Kanye's thinking, and like right as he's about to answer, before he gets a chance to answer, Jimmy says, oh, we're going to go to commercial break, which is fine. They didn't answer the question. Kanye was taking a long time to answer. But then every single media source I saw, Twitter, you know, it's all over Facebook, it's all over Google, it's all over, you know, the top news networks. They're trying to say hip-hop news. They're saying Kanye West doesn't know why Trump likes black people. Kanye West froze. Kanye West doesn't have an answer. Kanye West can't answer that. Kanye West is a sellout to the black community. It's like you can't win with these, I call them low energy leeches. And I don't mean to dehumanize people, but they remind me of human leeches, like where they're like, oh, Anomaly and Kanye and Trump have a lot of energy. I mean, look at Donald Trump. The guy sleeps like 4 hours a night. He's loaded with energy. He's like 71 going on 25. So they're like, how can we suck out Donald Trump's energy? Because we don't have any energy. They're like leeches. So they set him up with the question that's a trick question, trying to catch his words out of context. He thinks for a long time because he doesn't want his words to be caught out of context. And then they make the headline, Kanye West took a long time to think about a question that we were trying to trap him with. And now all of a sudden we're going to say he doesn't have an answer. So these people are sick. They're twisted. I almost feel like it's like a deep-rooted mental illness, or they're hurt or lost or something inside. And I'm not saying that in a negative way, but it's like you go to a beach, and if you're depressed sitting in a corner, I'd be like, what's wrong? Are you depressed? This reminds me of the media. They take an interview. They could have made the headline. Kanye West asks why they don't teach finances in school. Why do they teach about history? And you notice, and what I always say, people say, Anomaly, why do you say that? It's not that history is incorrect, but they only teach certain parts of history to keep certain people down. And Kanye West knows this stuff. Kanye West put out a song on Twitter where he said, parents are the strippers. Strip kids of their confidence. Teach white dominance. Question your common sense. What he was trying to say is they teach white dominance so it remains that way. So that's actually a revolutionary thing to say to the black community is you keep saying it so much, you're manifesting it. I'm weak. They want you to be weak. They want you to be on government programs. They want you to have high taxes. They want to be, as some people say, some analysts say, your baby daddy. I'm so weak. My community's so weak. Oh, I need your help. They teach that so it repeats. But you notice they teach about Hitler all the time. They teach about slavery all the time, which is fine. I'm not saying to not teach about it. But do you ever hear them teach about the Armenian genocide? Oh, of course not, because that's not part of the narrative that they're trying to skew. So they don't teach about the Armenian genocide. Do they tell you that, historically Native Americans were slaughtering each other? Do they tell you about the bloody murders of Native American tribes on America before Spanish people got here? They were killing each other left and right. It's not like a peaceful utopia and then the Spanish man came and killed everyone. It's like everybody was killing each other like forever, and then we killed someone and on top of people. I'm not saying it's good or right, but they only teach certain parts of history. And Kanye West had the question, why don't they teach about finances? Why is there no present moment class? Why don't they teach my kids how to balance a checkbook? That could have been the Twitter headline. That could have been the Google headline. But I have a spoiler alert for you guys. And if you think I'm wrong, somebody prove me wrong in the media. They don't want you to be able to balance a checkbook. They don't want you to be wealthy. They don't want you to be happy and successful. They want you to be poor. They want you to be needing things, because if you need things, then they can convince you to give them your taxes. Oh, I need help. I need equality. I need this. I need that. Oh, we'll give it to you. Oh, how do I get it from you? How do I get healthcare? How do I get... Oh, it's simple. Just give us your tax money, and then we'll give you these things. So if you don't need all of these things, if you're not skewed by history, if you know how to balance a checkbook, if you know how to, I didn't learn finances in school. I blew through thousands of dollars that I saved up my whole life my first year of college. I mean, it's my own fault. I'm not blaming anyone, but they didn't teach me in school. I knew how to use a rubric. They told me in poetry class I wasn't a good poet, and now my poetry spreads to millions of people. I'm just saying I got a C minus. So in school, they were, like Kanye said, stripping my confidence. You're not a good writer, Anomaly. You're not a good speaker, Anomaly. You're a C minus student. That's not a good poem, even though it was a good poem. The teacher just didn't like me, whatever. But they don't. Where was the class like here? Here's how you learn what credit is. What's credit? Credit is money that's not yours that you're basically loaning out, so then they come and take more money from you in the future. And you could buy things on money that's not yours. It's a whole system of debt. The whole United States runs off debt. We're trillions of dollars in debt to China. The whole Federal Reserve runs off debt, and the whole world runs off money. So why is there no finance classes in high school? That could have been the big headline. And it's just so sick to me that these people put out a trap question to Kanye West. He thought about it for a long time, just so he wouldn't get taken out of context like his last couple interviews, because his last two interviews, I'm sorry, even if you hate Kanye West, they were brilliant. It's like the guy's got so much wisdom and knowledge. He's at a rare space in his life where his ego's lower than it's ever been. His love is higher than it's ever been. His political awareness is growing. He watched a few Candace Owens YouTube videos, and now he realizes that the victim mentality isn't the way to go. It's like he doesn't know everything politically, but he knows that Candace is right. He knows that the victim mentality is a trap for the black community. He knows all of this stuff, but he doesn't know how to word it. He's like a kid in a candy shop. So it's like they're trying to catch him out of focus. He says, he waits a little bit, and then they make the big headline. So everybody, they try to keep you down. And I really hate to say this right now, but This is why Trump says that the press is the enemy of the people. Because essentially, they seem like the enemy of the people. What do you call it? If I'm sitting here and I have an hour speech and I tell kids, lead with love, don't lead with hate. Lead with love, balance your checkbook, you should learn the present moment in school, we're being held down. Like dropping wisdom and knowledge the whole time. And then you make the headline, oh, don't listen to Anomaly because he paused and he doesn't like black people. It's like they're sick, deranged, mentally ill psychopaths. And I don't say that with pleasure. I don't say that with pride. I lead with love myself. But when Trump says the press is the enemy of the people, it's hard not to agree. When Kanye West tries to speak truth to the black community, unlike other rappers, and let me remind you, hip-hop, the culture hip-hop, everyone wants to talk about hip-hop culture, culture vulture, Anomaly, you're culture vulture, Kanye West, you're Uncle Tom or a sellout. You know, they got a name for everybody, but hip-hop culture did not start on killing people. Hip-hop culture did not start on materialism. Hip-hop culture, the root of hip-hop, the genre, the dance, the song, everything hip-hop, graffiti, it didn't start on violence. It didn't start on negativity. It didn't start on that. Hip-hop was created at a DJ, I believe it was DJ Kool Herc. Correct me if I'm wrong. I might be messing up my names here. But it was created at a hip-hop party in New York. They played break beats of old like James Brown songs and 70s songs. And then people started dancing to the break beats because they were cool. So it was like just instrumentals. And then people started rapping to the break beats. So hip-hop was created off good vibes. Hip-hop was created off love. Hip-hop was created off unity. Hip-hop was created off physical dancing and like taking care of yourself. Dancing, rapping, you know, having a good time. It wasn't until the 90s, and then you have, you know, your legendary people like, you know, your KRS-One, African Bambaataa. You know, the history goes on. There's a lot of legends. But it wasn't until the 90s that corporations, you know, interfered, and also hip-hop artists themselves. I'm not going to blame it all on the corporations. But they twisted hip-hop culture from healthy, fun, good energy, dancing, you know, music, having a good time at a party, to a violent culture. So when Kanye West tries to break you out of that mental slavery and that mental conditioning brought to you by the 1990s, not originally hip-hop, that's not hip-hop. Hip-hop was hijacked, just like feminism has been hijacked, just like Black Lives Matter has been hijacked, just like the LGBT community has been hijacked. There's nothing wrong with being black. There's nothing wrong with being gay or whatever you want to be, but there is a political hijack of these communities. I show love to the LGBT community, black, Latino, white, doesn't matter. It's all just labels that they use to divide us. And then, you know, they say, instead of saying Tim Scott, who's a black Republican from the East Coast, they were like black GOP senators. Like they don't even give people a name. They're so sick and disgusting. It's like they don't even look at you like a human being, content of character, individual. It's like, you're black. You're a black GOP senator. It's like, just say the guy's name. And then those are the people that are supposed to be fighting racism. When they're so racist, they don't even know people's names. But anyway, Kanye's trying to explain to you, this wasn't always this way. And I mean, I could go back in history. Don't even get me started. But I read in school. One thing that really red-pilled me in school was like, I read Booker T. Washington from like the late 1800s, early 1900s. I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong on those years. I'm just going free flow now. And I'm reading Booker T. Washington, and I'm like, wow, people got way dumber since Booker T. Washington. And I'm not talking about just the black community. I'm talking about white people. I'm talking about Latinos, Asians. I'm talking about Americans, all Americans. Booker T. was so well-spoken. He had so much wisdom, so much knowledge, even like George Washington, Thomas Jefferson. You read these quotes, and you're like, wow, these guys were like really highly intellectual. Booker T. Washington was like genius-level intellect. And then you read like Harry Truman or go to like the politicians from the 60s and they're like, if they drop bomb, we drop bigger bomb. I was like, something happened. We got duped at some part because not only in the black community, you know, Candace Owens talks about it and a lot of people do all the time, where, you know, families were more together even when maybe socially times were worse. Families were more together. And also even financially, there were certain parts that their finances were higher. So along the way, not only the black community, but white people as well, and anybody in America got duped. Duped into thinking stupidity is cool. Duped into thinking arrogance and ego and materialism and ignorance is somehow, you know, attractive. When you go back to people like Booker T. Washington, and they were smarter than our black leaders were today, the ones that they put on television. So how come it's been 100 years and we got dumber? So I don't even want to get into that. But Kanye, he's red-pilled in that way. I just wanted to say the media totally duped Kanye West. They totally lied that he paused for a long time to have an intelligent thought, which is what people do when they're facing multi-layered questions after getting harassed for 2 months and threatened by people just because they said something that they didn't want to hear. But Kanye is full of wisdom. He's full of knowledge. I'm not saying he's perfect. He's trying to say lead with love, good vibes, teach the kids something that matters, stop putting our mind into history, which is like the core element of many spiritualities, including Buddhism and Taoism, is live in the present moment. There's a reason that they have you trapped in the history. It's not so you learn history and be a better person. It's so history weighs you down. If you want to be an unsuccessful human being, you take your old relationship, someone old, bad, negative in your life, and let it drag you down every day for 20 years. If you want to be held back, that's how you do it, by holding on to the past. It's no different from history. Learn from history, but if you let the negativity from the past and ancient times weigh you down, block you down, and lead you towards a political party that literally wants to take your taxes, make it harder for you to start a small business, and make it impossible for us ever to have a functioning society because they're so fueled with identity politics of race, religion, gender, dividing us into 50 million boxes. And then the second we try to come together, hey, we're all American, right? That's something we can all agree on. You're a black American, I'm a white American, you're a Christian American, you're a Jewish American. No. The American flag is racist. So it's like they know what they're doing. Kanye knows what they're doing. I know what they're doing. And it's just so sad to me. What is the media missing? So much. They're losing in the polls. They lost the last election. They're losing Americans. They're now resorting to censorship and deletion of entire video channels because they can't rationally or properly debunk and discuss what they're doing. So they have to harp on one thing that Alex Jones said 5 years ago and make it seem like everything he says is crazy. Delete his videos that are rebutting that. Say that he's endangering children when he's literally just uploading a video of someone else's that's not even his. It's all disgusting and disturbing, but on a core level, Kanye West is leading with love. He doesn't believe in the victim mentality. He believes in the victor mentality. I'm a winner. That's how Kanye did it at everything. And he said something very profound, before I move on to the next topic, that really stuck with me, and it's true to me too. And winners in society know, not people who are given a silver spoon at birth, not people who are handed everything, people that fought and scraped, who came from, a family that historically might have been enslaved, or a family that historically was working in factories or came from a fascistic regime in Europe to America for peace and prosperity. He said, when I went to art school, they told me I couldn't rap. I'd never be able to rap. And then I rapped. And then they told me, I went to art school. They said I couldn't do music. He was a producer. He produced for Jay-Z and a lot of legends. And then they told Kanye West, you're not a rapper. You're just a producer. Go make beats. So then Kanye made his whole album without their permission. Then he was a rapper. Then they said, you can't make shoes. And then he made one of the most successful. He has $1 billion shoe company called Yeezys. Then they said, you can't make fashion. And now he makes millions of dollars towards fashion. So he's like, you always tell me what I can't do. And any legend knows that's how it goes. You always leech on Donald Trump. Oh, you don't know what you're doing, Trump. You don't know what you're doing. Donald Trump beat you. He had a successful TV show. He wrote The Art of the Deal. He believes in deal making is like his art and craft. He's a multi-billionaire. He's done it all. Kanye West has done it all. I'm not on their level. I'm not putting myself in their shoes. But, I feel that because it's like everything I've done thanks to, your help and good people all around the world. But I've had to do like 99 on the back end by myself. I edit my own videos. I have my own lights. I do everything because people always try to tell me what I can't do. People always try to hold me back. Why is that not the headline? Why is that not the headline? Kanye West inspires kids to go reach their dreams because they don't want you to reach their dreams. They don't want you to have a class where you learn finances. They want you to be in a victim mentality. They want you to be weak. They want you to hate America. They want you to hate Kanye West because he's actually, intelligent and speaking love. They want you to hate anybody that leads with unity. They want you to hate everything prosperous so you live your life, no matter if you're a millionaire or you're broke, walking around thinking everybody owes you something, having a victim mentality. Because when you have a victim mentality, you can have socialism and communism because people get lazy and they think, we need to redistribute. We need to take their money and give it to them. They want you in that mindset, so you vote Democrat your whole life. And the media and social media guilts people into, you can't think that way. Kanye said liberals can't bully me, the hip-hop community can't bully me, the news can't bully me. Watch the interview yourself. It's full of gems. But overall, I wanted to say the media is totally lying. They took Kanye out of context pausing, thinking of what to say so they didn't take them out of context, so they took that moment out of context, like the low energy leeches that they are. Like I said, I'm not trying to dehumanize them, but they are like energy leeches sucking onto people. They want to suck all your motivation out. Kanye West, Donald Trump anomaly, give me all your energy, so you just lay there and vote Democrat the rest of your life. It's like, no, we're too high energy. That's why I got a raspberry something and a coffee. Too high energy. We got wisdom, knowledge. Kanye's dropping so many gems for the kids, for the hip-hop community that desperately needs it, because I get my music, I blast ignorant music all the time and stuff. You know, I have made ignorant music myself, let's be honest. You guys can probably search on YouTube, be like, I can't believe Anomaly said that. Sorry, I was 21, 22, 23. Actually, I made a song this year that you might be like, Anomaly still said that? You know, I like to have fun too. I'm not hating on hip-hop, but hip-hop community needs Kanye West. Hip-hop was not started on violence and gangbanging and drugs, and I'm not saying you can't rap about that stuff because it's true, but at a certain point, everybody has that monolithic thought of one thinking, one person breaks the mold, Kanye West, who just so happens to be like one of the best producers of the last 20 years and one of the most successful rappers, and everybody hates on him. The media hates on him. They say they don't want to lead with love. They don't understand what he's saying. He's crazy because he doesn't want to hate everybody. You know, he likes Donald Trump. He's telling kids that they should learn how to do their finances so they don't grow up broke. It's like, it's just so bizarre to me. I just want to show love to Kanye West because he's really crushing it, and it's just so sad that the media doesn't want to just display what he's saying. And that's a note. If you see what they do to Kanye, they do it to Trump, they do it to Candace Owens, they do it to anybody that's conservative, anybody that's even an Elon Musk. You could be liberal your whole life, but if you say the truth, God forbid Elon Musk says something that's not liberal and says, Trump's right about the media's lying, then they want to ruin Elon Musk's right. Oh, Elon Musk is a right-wing fascist. No, he's the best environmentalist in the world. He actually, instead of just talking about it and protesting, he actually goes and invents things. You might be like, I know a lot of people in here are like, oh, Anomaly, we don't like Elon Musk. He takes our tax money and uses government subsidies. Oh, well, I'm not saying he's perfect. I'm just saying he at least does something. He develops his ideas and doesn't just sit there like a low-energy crab and say, no, you can't do it. It's just bizarre. But anyway, we're going to go on to the next subject.